Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Okay. So, John, there are multiple products that in the last session with Steve that we addressed. Most of them are very focused to insurance. I think in our next sessions, if there is interest, I would also run you through those products. I'm not sure whether Steve had an opportunity to share our company deck, which described all the products. If not, I'll at the end of this call send you that too, so that you have an idea in terms of all the verticals that we play. So today the focus area is on our product, a flagship product called Evidens. So as I said, this is a rapid mobility application development platform. So the what we would go through here is understand the platform, how an enterprise can build and deploy mobility apps from a single command center, if I may say. We'll go through the functional architecture and the product details. So I have videos for the products which I would run through, so that we can efficiently take a look. Post that, I think once there is a common understanding, we can discuss in terms of how it can apply across various domains. So some of the key challenges that we are attempting to solve using this platform is, we always know that mobility based applications are very cumbersome to roll out, especially when there is a huge number of field force available. You may want to customize apps for different set of users, group of users, management of native apps on multiple devices. So the moment you have people on the field, you would want to ensure there are features which are very device centric, that needs to be used. In that case, when you build native apps, you don't have a choice of just building on one device. So how do you manage native apps on multiple OS? Integration to the backend enterprises also become complex, especially in an enterprise scenario. There are ability to track how they are performing, how these apps are being used by the field force, is something that is a challenge, especially when you roll out in large numbers. And submissions of field reports by service providers, the delays in those, if you don't have these apps, are pretty much very large in terms of number of days. Especially if you look at insurance and banking, we have typically seen various on-field operations take around 7 to 8 days for them to complete the submission, collate data onto their personal devices, and then compose the report and send it back to the enterprise. So how do we using Evidens change the paradigm in all these areas? So many enterprises here have on-field activities. Let it be telecom, insurance, banking, pharma, energy, healthcare, and as last time Steve was also mentioning in terms of transportation. Many of these areas we need apps to be built for on-field processing. There is a need today where data needs to be analyzed. How do we digitize these data? That is one. And second, how soon in the process do we digitize these data? Do I wait for the data collection to happen on separate devices or separate other mechanisms and then collect it, or can I push using these apps, can I push my ability to pull data right at the field front itself? So based on these needs, Evidens is envisaged, which provides a rapid mobile application development platform across all iOS. These three key iOS, which is three key OSs, which are iOS, Android, and Windows. Some of the extensions that we provide in terms of seamless integration with the backend system, ability to onboard service providers or on-field operators within one platform. So there is an ability for us here to create hierarchy of service providers, right from their office setup to roles to users, so that there is an hierarchy set up within the same platform, and the rollout happens according to the hierarchy. Assignment of on-field activities are in multiple groups. You can make them region wise, in different categories. So you can also start configuring details from one place in terms of what work goes to which set of people. And permission based allocations are also possible, rule based allocations are possible within this platform. The the other part of, in terms of workload that has been assigned, how a workload is being taken, whether it is managed, is there seamlessly, how do we allocate real time workload base assignments. These are something that's also available within the platform. Rating and feedback on performance of on-field service providers, and a dashboard for various agencies can also be brought in here. Today this platform we have used in India context in terms of selling it to insurance companies, where insurance companies are using it, but we believe very much that this is a domain agnostic platform and can be used in multiple domains based on use cases. So our USP is, your ability to specify what is the app UI. You can give the branding in terms of images, workflows, configure the widgets as you need in terms of text box, in terms of date pickers, controls. You can even go ahead and put camera controls, geotagging controls when you build the app. And you can also configure the backend integration, whether it's service based, or do you want a PDF based report to come into your platform. You can define the user roles, policies, and then with a single click deploy the app on multiple devices and multiple OS devices. So that's the key USP of this platform. And the same platform then you can start using to also getting the data, assignment of cases, your dashboard performance, and tomorrow enhance it to multiple levels in terms of analytics and BI. At a very high level, the key platform modules are the ability to manage, configure users, the load management, case assignment, creation of a case, assigning them, managing the load, and the investigation management. When I mean investigation, it's on field. On field, how the data would come back. That is a platform that functionality is offered within the platform. And then you have the reporting, analytics, and MIS dashboards. So some of the key features of the Evidens on-field application. Till now, what I was talking about is on the backend platform, which is called as Evidens Sky. So once on the on-field Evidens app, that is the mobile native app. So we have focused on giving a common process flow, so that it's a guided process for all the on-field executives to collate data. You don't need a highly trained person mostly in these cases, because the business community or the business users can mandate a process in terms of application development itself. You can start collating audio video evidences of the asset situation on the ground. Ability to mark or capture photos taken. Within a photograph taken, you can mark additional notes, take signatures on the field, automatically capture the GPS coordinates of the location. And another beauty of the system is the ability to configure and generate an email report directly from the field. So you can create a report, have a template, create a report based on the data collected, and send it to someone on through an email, or send it back to the Evidens Sky for you to view the report. So as a process flow perspective, so a case is something that you would create on this platform. The moment a case is created, an intimation can happen. The intimation through evidence platform and the assignment happens to the field force. The field force now has a tablet or a mobile. So based on the case created, the fields and the need of the fields, real-time data capture in terms of the case, which includes photo, audio, video, if digital signatures are needed, all that is done on the field, and submission happens back to the evidence platform. Evidence platform now acts as a gateway, and there are two mechanisms here. We can integrate directly through services to the enterprise into their own systems, or the platform itself, the Evidence Sky platform itself, can have and hold all these records in terms of reports, analytics, and dashboards can be within this platform also. Any questions till now, John?
No, everything looks good. Thank you.
Okay, so the idea of this platform is to enable you to build apps, as I said. So now how do what this also offers is a single shell for the end users on the field. So you would have if you take an insurance domain enterprise, so there are multiple things that you would want to do. For example, you want to go ahead and do a health claim investigation that has come, or a motor loss assessment that has happened. You want to do a property risk survey for a case that has come in. Someone has wants to insure a property. You want to send someone and do a risk survey. There is a property claim that has happened, or a fire loss assessment, as we call it. A hospital audit. You want to onboard a hospital within your service provider list. So how do we enable on-field operators to have a single app with all these multiple abilities to perform different business scenarios? So Evidence provides a shell that would now reside on your different mobile devices, and you have an ability from the corporate backend to push apps as per your need to a group of people or to individual operators on the field. And these apps can be multiple apps, so that the user now has one single corporate app, and based on the role that he plays, he can switch to multiple apps and perform his job back. So there is an ability for you from the backend to push multiple apps to devices on field. There is an ability for you now to receive data back on all of these apps in terms of cases that you push, individual cases that you push on field, and your ability to view all the reports integrated back to your backend system. And so that you now have one control center for your entire business. So you do not have to run 20 apps doing 20 different things. It is within the same shell that you can run your entire operations. Based on permissions, you can decide who does what on the field from one place. So if you take a telecom domain, a very similar structure, the entire platform can fit in at a telecom domain enterprise. So you can have a corporate app store for them with multiple different apps, which makes sense in a telecom domain using the same platform. So these are very specific business processes. I don't think we'll go through this now. Let me just take you through how an app is created. So that would give a idea in terms of. So as I said, the evidence platform, there are multiple things that you can do. So generally when this platform is deployed, so what you would first do is create the organization for which it has been deployed, create various branches, offices, the hierarchy, and the users. Who is the admin user, what rights he has, everything also is available within the platform. I'm not going to take you through that, as that forms the basic configuration, which I will take you through at the end. Let's go to the meat of the solution in terms of how an app will be created on this platform. How does it push out to devices? How does it look on devices? How the data comes back in terms of data collection at the field level? This is what we will go through in this video that I will run. So here, this is the platform where I'm logging in. This is called as the Evidence Sky. So this is a portal, John. So once here you log in, so this is a log user that had been created upfront. So you go ahead and create a retail job. This is a new job that we are going to create. So I'm calling this as the motor inspection app. So I want a motor inspection to be done. So a new app is being created. So I'll come back to what a case and a job is. So in terms of case that is being created, so what are all the fields? So you can have an app with different sections. So and you can start adding field names in terms of what do you need as per that. So imagine a business user now knows very clearly here what he wants. So in a motor inspection app, you need to have the customer name, you need to have his address, mobile number, and you need to provide the vehicle that you have to inspect, and probably that's it. So once this is done, the case goes in. The person on the field has multiple things to record, like the vehicle details, the customer details. So all that fields now you can start creating from this app now, from this Sky platform, and then publish the app. So if you look on the left side, you will see, there are four key steps that you do. You will first create a retail job in terms of how your field will look. Create the detail fields within these within the job, and then go ahead and review the entire app on the same platform, and then publish. The moment you publish it, this app is now available for your users to be pushed onto their mobile phones. So John, this is pretty much like a form builder now. So you have an ability to build your forms, build your section, within the section the fields and the type of fields what you would want, whether it is mandatory or not, if whether it's dependent on certain fields, all that can also be added within here. So here you have an option of adding a field, which is a drop down. So you have, you can give all the fields right there manually, or you can even have an Excel upload and upload back based on a master that you would have in your enterprise. So the data would come in terms of a drop down list as a field for the insurance company. So now we are adding a new section under that. We till now had motor initial details in terms of motor vehicles. Now customer details, very specific to customer in terms of his name, address. You can have them under different sections here.
Also, the intent here is to just divide the sections and the various tabs and all that we have in a logical group, so that it makes sense when they're actually doing this data entry to create the app itself.
So I know it's a little lengthy, but what we have done till now, John and Kishore, is we have now created different fields. We have created sections. So these are the key 4 sections, the 5 sections that we have, where customer details. So we created fields which are now mapped under a section called customer details. We created different fields for vehicle capture and mapped them under vehicle details. Then the previous policy, if you look at insurance, then you need to have, when you're doing an inspection, you need to have the policy details too. And then the evidence in terms of photo and video, we added controls, and in terms of observation and remarks and signature, that's what we have created. 4 different tabs, if I may, 5 different tabs, if I may say, from an app perspective. So different types of fields have also been added, which you will now see how it looks on the mobile. So you can take signature on the tab itself. You can add a signature control. So the different action buttons in terms of sending an email, viewing the report, submitting, save or cancel, everything is also being added in the last section. Once that is done, so you can preview it. So we just are previewing it in say a 10-inch tab or a 7-inch tab. So each of these sections now come in with all the drop downs listed. You have motor inspection, the customer details tab in terms of date of birth, date pickers are there, vehicle details, whatever we added. We have the previous policy details section, and then the evidence where we capture image and video, and the observations. So the final observation where with the signature and all the buttons that with the actions have also come in. So from there itself, there are multiple ways you can publish the survey directly to individual device through an email. You can send it via email or an SMS if needed. Then you can also publish it to a device group and then submit it, so that the entire device, the entire app can be downloaded from them directly from the mail also. Once the job is saved, you can or even before or after publish, you can just go ahead, go to the tab preview, change, modify jobs right here, add fields, and then update. Everything happens from one particular place. Each of the sections within the app also you can modify. You can view the field level details and validate, verify, and then change it right here. As I said, you can club multiple devices. Here we have just few devices, multiple devices. You can club a group name. Suppose you have a region for which you want to only publish an app, a set of users for whom you want to publish this app. You can go here, group them, and then say publish to them. So the moment a device, there is a different registration for the device. What you're seeing here is already a registered device. So there's a mechanism for how to register a device, its details, uniqueness, as well as the OS that it belongs. Based on the OS of that particular device, the particular app would reside on the device with a single publish. So these are ability for us to go to section levels, do modification within that app at different sections at one place, and then update back to the field.
Looks good.
So there is a concept of a case and a job. So what you are seeing now, we build the entire application based on fields and sections. Then you have an option. So any case that now that would come to you on your mobile would needs to have a header. For example, you need to know what that case is, what type it is, and what is that basic information that would go and sit on your mobile like an inbox. So in a day you may handle 10 motor vehicle inspection cases, for example. So morning when you log in and log into this app, and when you do a refresh, so 10 inbox items would come to you. So each of these items represent a job for you. So you can define the job that would be visible for you in an inbox. So the basic information like this is a retail vehicle case, the customer is Vikram, his address is so and so, this is his vehicle number. That is, say, that 5 items that would come in your inbox view in terms of the job. Once you click on that, the detail of the entire app that you had created, all these sections, these data points would flow through, and data collection items would be available for the on-field operator. So this is what we just witnessed, a app creation. How do I build and visualize the entire app? How do I put in all the fields? How do I group them in terms of sections, and then mark what are readable items, what are writable items, add validations to that, build controls around, and then put proper workflow by having my save, submit, cancel, and report buttons in the right pages, and then view it and publish it to the to a group or to a particular mobile, is what we saw. Now there is the next step is, from this same platform you now can start pushing cases to all these published apps. So the case can go to all the devices, the case can be made to go to a particular group or to a particular individual within that group. So this is the level of control that you would have. So the case can now be created right in the Evidens platform at the back end, or we can integrate with the enterprise and then pull the data and send it through a rule-based engine via services. So for example, now I have to do 10 vehicle inspections based on claims that I have received in my claims management system. I can build a rule, pull data from there, trigger it, and collate all this piece of information that I just mentioned, which are key parameters that will go in my inbox, push it to the devices on field automatically also. So we'll just quickly go through. This is not a big one, it's a smaller chunk of videos now in terms of how this is done in Evidens today. So this is the view where I have now logged in as a product supervisor. I can now see all my different apps here listed. I just now have only the motor inspection app. If tomorrow I have a marine inspection or a customer feedback survey, or it can be as a hospital audit app that I want, so everything would come in on my left pane here. So I can view what are all my new cases, which are the cases that I have assigned, how many have been processed, how many are in submitted state and not yet approved. All that is a single view that I can have here as a product supervisor. I can use this platform to create a case. So now I'm creating a case. I have come to know, for example, inspection should happen at for a customer called Kevin. So I provide the basic details here, and the address, which insurance that he is, which branch, and then the vehicle number, and I create a case. This case will be assigned to the field and to a particular app. It will now come onto my mobile device as an inbox item. There are two mechanisms of assignment. I can assign to the on-field operators by name. I can pick from a drop-down, or I can go to a map and then check who is available within that vicinity for that particular address that was entered, who is available in terms of on-field tabs, and then based on his load. For example, if you look at it, this is an operator who is there on field, who has my app, and he's green in terms of color. That means he has ability to perform tasks today. So we can build in those logics. If it is red, he is already exceeded limit, he has pending tasks with him, so there's no point again pushing another task to him. So these are also something that's built in within the platform, that you can look at a particular location, pick the address, see who is available within that vicinity, and who has the ability to execute it immediately, and assign him this task.
So this actually gives the additional advantage of setting the parameters of how many cases per day a user can do, and what is his how much time does he take on an average time that he takes to complete these cases, and who is the nearest guy who can actually pick up this case, and the right kind of a guy who can actually take this case, and if a priority case comes in, he's who is the right guy to take it up and close it immediately, basis his current location and where the inspection itself needs to be done.
So now I'll now take you through the Evidens app on a tab. So once a end user logs in, so he can select a survey here. If you look at, there is just motor inspection now, but as I was mentioning, if this is a person who can do 5 other items for you, so he will have different surveys available here, so you can choose which survey to pick. So if he is the guy who is also doing a hospital audit for you, he would have the hospital audit app also published on the same platform, the same login, so he can pick up that particular survey and then proceed ahead. So this is the inbox which you will now define from the platform. So these are the 4 parameters that when we built, we mentioned that this is what should appear in my inbox. This is configurable. Tomorrow someone from the field says, guys, I also would be benefited if you can give me the address within this inbox itself. I don't want to click this and then look at my address. I want to look at the address right here in my inbox so that I can plan my day, for example, without going into my cases. So, well, feedback received. You do not have to go to any application builder again and vendor and then have him do the change. You just go log on to the platform, go to the particular case, modify the application, and kind of, from the next refresh onwards, the address would be visible within this inbox. That's how easily and configurable this is.
So the inbox gives a view of all the cases that is assigned to him. Along with that, if you can also see there is a light header that is there, as in a amber header that is there on the left hand side, which actually indicates the TAT, as in the response time that is coming back from him, which can be again pre-configured for each user basis. This inbox, as Vikram was rightly mentioning, it has a lot of these, we call it as case headers, which is pre-configured for each survey that is being carried out, and it can, on the click of it, the entire form, whatever needs to be captured as part of this on-field investigation, would be brought out.
So on click of the case now, the app that we built for motor vehicle inspection now opens up. The fields that you see here, this is the one of the sections, customer detail. So the on-field guy now will start capturing data points in each of these sections. So the vehicle detail section. So this is the evidence in terms of audio, video or a photo can be taken right then and there. And then the observations can be captured. Signatures taken on the tab itself from the customer, from the person who is on the field, and they save the data. So one of the case that's addressed, then this can be submitted immediately then and there back to the platform. So the submitted case report can also be viewed here. Clicking on this would open up a PDF or any format that you would want. We can configure that. We can even send this report as an email directly to someone if it's a very urgent case and they want it by email. That can also be done. So we bring in a lot of transparency here. It can also be sent to the customer so he's aware of what is happening with his case. So within the app, there are various ways in terms of backing up his database. If there is an update that's coming in, the user can go and back up the data. There are different settings in terms of the image, the image quality that can be set here. Yep. And then he
so
also has an
basically includes. Sorry, Yeah, the settings basically includes as Vikram was mentioning, the what is the resolution that I would want the pictures to be taken on, what is the video quality that I would, whether I want a high quality video or a medium quality video, because as and when the size also matters when the when the uploads are done. So these are the various settings for user where he can actually preset these things, and accordingly he doesn't need to do it for each one of these pictures or videos or audio quality that he's trying to monitor.
Correct. This is the survey change that he can do. He can now opt, based on notifications that he receives, if he wants to go to a different survey, he can do that here. Updation of an app, every time a login happens, we mandate 24 hours login, so the update happens on a daily basis. But if there is an urgent need, then an update option is also there where the user can do the update on his own. So John, did this were you able to connect the dots now that we built an app on the platform, published it to this device? It came in as an inbox item which is configurable, and you could see the same fields that we built within the mobile tablet also.
Yes, it was very helpful. Thank you.
Good, thanks. So then there are so this basically this video shows the same saved data now that we saw in terms of image and in terms of the video, all the data that is captured. How does it again roll back into the evidence sky in terms of processed case? So now we go to the processed case section. We see that one of the case that we now worked on is already available in my inbox. So I have an option of going ahead and viewing this. So this is a format of the data collated. It can be viewed in an HTML, or you can even have a PDF view if it's a bigger report. This was a very small app, so we can view in HTML. But sometimes you cannot have, if there's a bigger app, then you need to have it in either a PDF or a Word format. Yep. So another ability that we also bring in for each of the apps that we created is the ability to create a case. So now till now we saw that a case is now being assigned to the end device from the web only, from the web portal. But here for every app that you create, we also have case creation enabled for the end user. So suppose I have not received a case today, but there is a possibility that I have walked into a particular vehicle inspection and I see another vehicle with the same insurance company available there. So I can immediately create the case right then and there from the mobile also, and then assign the case gets assigned to me. I also go ahead and collect all the details and send it back to the backend. So that is also possible. Based on our experience of rolling out this app, there are many cases where we found this feature also needed, where a person knows that there is a job on the field, but as the case has not yet assigned or no one has assigned it from the corporate, he keeps waiting. So this is something that we built. Now if you look at, he has created the case, added it into the inbox, opened it, and he can fill in the data and send it back to uh, the Evidence Sky portal.
this would also enable the offline approach itself. If someone like who has only a Wi-Fi tab, or which does not, he's in a remote location where there is no network, he can still go ahead and actually do all the cases, come back end of the day, and just sync back whenever there's a Wi-Fi network or a mobile network that is available for him to push the cases back. So creating the case would give an option for him to be offline. uh, 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 Even if there is no real-time connection for him, he can go ahead and create a case for himself, and basis the data that he has, and go ahead and do the required activities and sync it up at the end of the day.
So coming back to this is the key meat of the evidence platform in terms of your ability to build on the fly mobile apps, publish them, group them, and then publish them to, on a single publish them onto different OS platforms. um, and then from there receive the data back, and then in terms of report, in terms of integrations, or in terms of a one view where you can view the collated data within the same platform, is what we just went through. There are a lot of other things that also happen within Evidens to enable this. We have a highly configurable product in terms of even the setup, the organization creation. How do we configure offices? What are the permissions? How do you create a user, and what permission goes to the user? It's a whole gamut of things that we have, which forms the basis. So if this platform is adopted by an enterprise, you first understand the enterprise, understand their hierarchy, the roles that they play, what are the workflow that they need, integration points that they would have in terms of this data collection, that how would it sync seamlessly back into their existing system. We do not want to add another system into their IT environment. If that is one of the possibilities, how do we do it seamlessly? So this forms another 5-6 such videos which we have in terms of how it is done. So at a high level, I mean, the functionalities, what we wanted to convey is here. I will take you through very briefly in terms of the organization setup, how it is done, office setup, the different kinds of roles, and the permissions within. So and the device management itself is a very big functionality in terms of how do I manage all these devices, grouping them, what permission to give within those devices. These are something that you will see in the next few videos. As a product, if you look at, if there are companies today where we have this live, so many in the current scenario, especially in the last 3 years, the products that we have built is in a manner where the companies say you build the apps for us. So the business user comes, we sit with the business user, they tell us this is my use case, these are the fields, these are the classifications that I need, build an app for me. So honestly, Steve, it takes around a week or two for us to complete this exercise, build apps on all three platforms, and publish it to their devices. Um, Another week or so for the rollout, understanding various other features, feedback. So within a month, in 4 weeks, you can have business apps published and ready. The initial app, when you build with any organization, we have realized there is a cycle time of understanding their systems, integrating it back. Someone may want just Excel uploads, someone have services for us to consume, and it becomes far easier. But understanding, someone just gives us some queries and say pull it from my database, for example. So the other part of enabling the surrounding of our evidence platform usually takes us another 4 to 6 weeks. Otherwise, we have today the ability of rolling out apps in as soon as 4 to 6 weeks, the two enterprise apps which are integrated. So this is the organization configuration, right, Chetan? So I think here we can set up the organization, do customization in terms of take their logos, put their websites wherever needed, and do the basic, white labeling.
Yeah, this is basically for setting up the entire system itself, right from the organization, the offices, various offices, because for instance, there are certain uh, cases that needs to be managed from a particular office, and defining the entire hierarchy itself for the organization would be defined at this organization level, and next at the office configuration itself. And basis that basis this organization, we can also create users under each of these officers, and also provide various roles that is required. So the organization office role and user management are predominantly for setting up the usage of this application for the web as well as for the on-field devices.
So the hierarchy setup is, as Chetan said, organization creation, office configuration. There are different offices within that, and then the roles and users associated, and the last one is the devices these users are associated to and their details. Once this is set up completely, then you would on a day-to-day basis come in, build your apps, view your reports. There are different users for different roles. Someone will be just building products, someone would be using it to send cases to the field. There may be another team just viewing based on the apps created. For example, the claims team will look at all the claims app data. Maybe policy generation or a lead management team will be looking at the customer feedback survey app, for example. So those roles also can be created within. For example, last time when we discussed this, Steve mentioned about transportation company. So this is where we would enter the data about the transportation company. This is where we will enter who their supervisors are, managers are, who the end users are, and what devices they hold, what OS they hold, and then set up the entire organization. Once that is done, you can start building different apps for different set of devices or users rather.
Because there'll be as in a bigger organization, there'll be a lot of data collection that needs to be done, so they can define what apps they want at each department level, and control so that there is no a particular app not going, particular app is been assigned to a specific set of users devices, making sure the entire configuration is carried out to the set of from an organization configuration, office, role, and user.
So we have now created the organization, the details of the organization, address, what is their license, registration numbers, if you may, which is needed. From there, you start creating offices, branches under that, in terms of office creation. Choose the particular organization. Some of the masters are very specific. These can also be configured as per need and region. So once the office is created, you need to get into role creation. So multiple roles. First of all, an admin role would be created. Based on the admin role, then a supervisor or different levels of access can also be given to them. So here, for every role, you have ability of various. So there are settings in terms of job creation, case creation, reports, viewing of reports, and then device tracking. What are all the things that will be mapped to a particular user? So the highest level in terms of modifying settings and device tracking would generally be with an administrator. Within those, modifying the office setting, modifying roles, users, devices, and their tracking will remain, say, with an administrator. So we can create different roles now for the other entities and give them the device mapping.
So all the functional components are again pre-configurable. So if I choose to give a particular set of functional component, and there are multiple sub functions within that one. So this is where he is actually defining within the main functional component what are the other functions that he can actually do. So there is a various level of the assignment that can happen for a single function.
We created an admin who controls the entire setting of the organization as well as the devices. Now we create a supervisor who would also have an admin role, but he has limitations. So for example, he would now not be able to change the settings, but he would go ahead and do a retail job creation, for example, and can build cases and may probably even view reports. So within each of these, so what all he can do, again you can define to that level. We have kept it configurable. So can he create a fresh job, modify it, field creations? Will he be able to do validations? Everything you can choose within that.
So basically he's just defining what all menu options at a high level he can have and the sub menu options that he can have.
Hi guys.
Yes.
Vikram?
Yeah, this is Vikram here. John.
Hi Vikram, this is Steve.
Hey, hi Steve. Hey, glad you joined, Steve. I'm sorry,
yeah,
we kind of...
I've been on for quite a while. I think John's got to jump off. John, you have another meeting coming up, don't you?
I do in about 5 minutes, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had one coming. I just wanted to jump in, Vikram, and let you know John was scheduled for another meeting. I know you got him through most of it, John. Are you feeling pretty comfortable and understanding how deep and how do we say this is such a big application with all so many different functionality and code sets. You got a pretty good flavor for all the things that it can do?
Yeah, I do. I really like it, and I would like to talk to you a little bit more about it, Steve, later today.
Yeah, yeah. No, that sounds great, John. Vikram, thank you very much for showing us this morning. Sorry I wasn't on right at the onset. I got held up, but I jumped in and just listened quietly so I could let you get through as much as possible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was not aware. Thank you very much, Steve. Thanks, John. So if there are anything inputs in this, I think we have gone through the meat of the product right at the beginning. There are a lot of other things around it, but I think you got a clear idea about it. If there is anything, please let us know. We'll be glad to jump in and clarify and give you more insights.
I will. Thank you, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, John. Hey, Vikram, would you mind sharing that recording with us and the presentation too when you get a chance, please?
Sure, I will. I have enabled the recording at the beginning. Let me see how that has come up, Kishore.
Yeah, sounds good.
Great.
Thank you so much, Vikram.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, Kishore. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, John. Thanks a lot, Chetan.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, gentlemen.